Hey guys, welcome to Operation PlayStation Volume 2, Episode 5. I'm one of your hosts, Dash, along with my co-host, Mr. Jeremy Braditich. How are you, dude?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Yeah, doing good. I'm just a little bit sleepy, but, you know, that comes with the job of just keeping up with all the news and everything else, so
Yep.
what can you do? Got anything new this week?
We got Minimapcast episode 69. Haha, nice. Which was good. We recorded that about 3 hours ago now. So I'm having a podcast day. But it was great. It was like a really funny episode, and I'm talking about this really wild story about Titanfall hackers taking down the Titanfall servers to try and get hired by Respawn to resurrect a game that got cancelled. It's a wild story that we talk about. It was good fun.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. I'm keen to listen to that one, man. Especially after the deep cut you had last week, which was
which one? Which deep cut that are you talking about? There was a few.
The character that you were brought up. I'm blanking here now too.
Oh, Blasto.
There we are, Blasto, that's the one. Blasto, I was like, holy shit, Blasto.
Bring back Blasto.
I couldn't believe it. I was listening to that clip on Twitter and you were just kind of like alluding to it. I'm like, is he going to say Blasto? And then, yeah, when he said it, I'm like, oh my God. And then like Carrie's like, what's Blasto?
Yeah, well, no one knows who Blasto is. I went to so many people after that episode because I was like, I can't believe you don't know Blasto. And then I spoke to so many people. No one knows Blasto. Blasto
really?
is not a... Yeah. Like, I think because it was like... There was like 2 Blasto games, right? Yeah. On the PS1, and that was so early, and they do not look good now.
And
like,
I own both of them.
I own both of them. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah. You're the only person I know that knows who Blasto is.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, look, honestly, obscure games on PlayStation early in its life cycle, I probably owned them because I was a very early adopter of the PlayStation. You know, one of the first games I owned, Croc Legend of the Gobbos. Very excited for that one, so.
Do you own Pepsi Man?
I do.
Nice, excellent.
Yeah.
When I first got when I rebought a PS1 a few years ago, first game I pirated.
You bad boy.
PepsiCo is gonna break into my door.
Guys, if you didn't know, this is Operation PlayStation-Gamer.com's dedicated PlayStation podcast. We dive deep and dirty and discover what the latest and greatest PlayStation have to offer in 2021. If you like what you hear today, make sure that you follow us over on Anchor, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Give us those cheeky 5-star ratings. They surely help us out. And also catch the VOD over on Dashgamer.com and on YouTube. Subscribe, hit that bell, give us a like, leave us a comment. Make us your number one PlayStation destination in Australia. Jez, pretty much, was the Minimapcast the only piece of housekeeping you had?
At the moment, yeah.
Okay.
We're like on a small content hiatus, a little bit. We're reworking to get things better, but for now, that's what we've got going.
That's all good, dude. That's all good. Sometimes it's good to take a step back, have a bit of a breather, and get that refresh going. And
especially during lockdown.
Oh man, tell me about it. Like, if anything's a demotivator right now, it's lockdown.
Right,
and
totally, completely.
We'll be talking about that during the show anyway. But for DashGamer.com, have a few reviews out. Neo, The World Ends With You, thanks to the confolk over at Bandai Namco. Monster Hunter Stories 2 review, thanks to the confolk over at Capcom Australia. Trigger Witch review, thanks to the confolk over at Rainbow. Samurai Warriors 5 review, thanks to the confolk over at Turnlift Distribution. And an opinion piece, Solid State Disaster, I like to call it. It's an SSD opinion piece, basically of the new beta firmware that's out right now for PlayStation 5, where owners are basically testing out the NVMe drives that get to go in them. I bring up the fact that it's going to be a costly endeavor, and also how user unfriendly it is for people to, access and all that kind of stuff. I had a conversation with Ryan Betson from sister PlayStation podcast for the players earlier on in the week about that whole thing, and I brought up the fact that it's not as user friendly as the Xbox Series X.
Because they got just little memory cards.
Right. We were look, and here's the thing, we were scoffing at Xbox about this, like when they first revealed these things. We were like, memory cards. What the hell is that? And then all of a sudden, PlayStation were like, oh yeah, you can expand your memory. But guess what? It's going to cost you a liver, and you're also going to have to put a heatsink on it. Screw you.
Yeah.
So it's just a really, really weird one. So yeah, check out that opinion piece as well. It's live right now on Dash Gamer. Jez, we're not going to waste any more time. We've got some news to get through today, so let's jump into the news. The first bit of news comes by way of Robert Ramsey over at Push Square, who says Sony completes acquisition of anime giant Crunchyroll. Company looks to unify its anime business. Weeb stuff. Hey, look at that.
This is, if there was ever a news story for you, it's PlayStation buying Crunchyroll.
No sponsor. Look, I deal more with the Funimation side of things with the show, but I mean, look, Crunchyroll falls under the same banner, which is just weird now these days. You know, Anime Lab kind of got swallowed by Funimation earlier this year.
Yep.
Which is also owned by the same people, so it's like all one banner now. Right. Yeah.
And like, I'm glad that like Anime Lab and Funimation is finally like combined. Yeah, like they've merged because I remember there was a little while where there was stuff on Funimation that wasn't on Anime Lab, and I'm like, I just want to watch the original Gundam, please, and now I can.
There you go. So the story goes, with the deal having reportedly been under US Justice Department review earlier this year, there was debate over whether Sony would actually complete its acquisition of anime platform Crunchyroll. The buyout was officially announced back in December 2020, and now the Japanese giant has confirmed that the purchase is done and dusted around 9 months later. Quote, "We are very excited to welcome Crunchyroll to the Sony Group," end quote, says Sony CEO Kenichiro Yoshida. I believe that's how you say it. Quote, anime is a rapidly growing medium. Did I say that right? Anime is a rapidly growing medium, brain, that enthralls and inspires emotion among audiences around the globe. The alignment of Crunchyroll and Funimation will enable us to get even closer to creators and fans who are the heart of the anime community. We look forward to delivering even more outstanding entertainment that fills the world with emotion through anime, end quote. Yeah. This is cool. Yeah, and it even says Sony now owns Crunchyroll and Funimation. And as we said, Funimation bought out Anime Lab earlier this year, so now that's Funimation ANZ. So, I mean, cool. This is, for me, awesome, because this will give us more seamless access to, potentially Crunchyroll or quote-unquote Anime Lab through PlayStation platforms, or even Sony platforms, Sony TVs. Like the Bravias. For somebody who regularly views anime shit, I said thanks to Funimation yesterday for making lockdown tolerable because I was I've been binging My Hero, man, and I love that series. Such a great series. So this is good news for me. How about you?
I mean, I'm not a big anime watcher. Like I said before, the only thing I wanted to watch was the original Gundam.
Closet weeb.
Closet weeb. The only weeb shit that I like is like Kingdom Hearts, which is a little bit, but like not. It's the fears of monopolization is concerning. I don't know anything about the market of anime, so I honestly don't know what I feel about it. I mean, look, like I think less subscriptions are better for most people. I honestly have no idea.
Well, here's the thing. Like, this is just a buyout of streaming services. This is not a buyout of anything else. And
sure.
For anyone who's concerned about that, like, don't even worry about it. This is just Sony kind of flexing their muscle and buying out just entertainment services. So, this deal could be just a contractual deal that can expire at any time. And then, like, once again, Funimation might go off on their own. Crunchyroll might go off on their own. This is just like, this could be a time deal. We don't know. It could be a decade, could be two. But even then, it's one of those things where I think this is really, honestly, just a good thing for PlayStation in terms of just having seamless access to these streaming services. So, More money, more money.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. The next one comes by way of Alexandra Hall over at Kotaku, who says, report, new PSVR 2 details leak from Sony developer conference. Yeah, so this will be an exciting one for you. I like, once again, I've already expressed I'm not a VR guy whatsoever, so like this is something that just I shrug my shoulders at and go, ah.
No, this I'm into.
Oh, okay. Well, I know you are because you love your VR.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a video posted today by a popular VR YouTube channel, PSVR Without Parole, purports to have a new information about, man, my brain has just got new information about Sony next generation virtual reality hardware for PlayStation 5. PSVR Without Parole claims to have sourced fresh information about about a private conference held on Tuesday for prospective PSVR 2 developers, the occurrence of which was independently corroborated by Upload VR. According to PSVR Without Parole, Sony's next VR platform is codenamed NGVR for Next Generation VR. It will likely be called PSVR 2 when released.
It will 100% be called PSVR 2 when it releases.
I don't know about that, actually. I think they're going to go with. I think they're probably going to go with a different name, like PSVR Next or something.
PSVR Vita?
Oh God, don't do that. As Upload VR reported in May, PSVR 2's display will have a resolution of 2000 by 2040 per eye, which is a solid little bump above the world's current most popular headset, the Oculus Quest 2. Yep. What's the one that you have?
I've got the Quest 1.
Oh, there you go. In addition, so this will be an upgrade to that. In addition, PSVR Without Parole suggests the screen will utilize OLED display technology and support high dynamic range, potentially giving it a lot more vibrancy, deeper blacks, and greater brightness than the Quest 2's more typical non-HDR LCD display. The new kit will supposedly feature a 110-degree field of view, up 10 degrees from Sony's original PSVR, and around 20 better than the slightly scuba mask feeling Oculus Quest 2. This wide FOV will be accomplished, a field of view, will be accomplished in part via Fresnel lenses, which come with pros and cons that Quest users are already well acquainted with. Hopefully Sony will get the glare and guard rays under control. God, those things are freaking annoying, man.
Yeah, like the lens. So for anyone who doesn't know, Fresnel lenses are circular lenses. So so it's like starts off with little circles, then get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's useful for round lenses. Like you can notice it. When you're in the Quest, I notice it. But like once you're in the game for 5 or so minutes, you tend to just like black it out, honestly. Apart from if things go from very dark to very bright, then suddenly you can remember that it's there. It's usually not a big deal. There's another part in it as well, which is very, very interesting. Which is the part that includes... So this article goes into detail, but it goes into quite a lot of long detail.
All right.
The other things that is mentioned was that apparently the headset is going to have haptics in the headset itself.
Oh,
which is interesting.
Bang!
Yeah, right. So walking around on the sand in fucking Astrobot, and like then you can really feel like you're walking on the sand in your head.
Nice.
But apparently they're using the haptics in the headset to deal with motion sickness, which I don't understand how. I don't know how that works. That's not something I've ever heard of. And for disclosure, my job deals directly with VR equipment and stuff. And I asked some of the people who I work with who create VR experiences, and they're like, "What? Really? That sounds cool. I have no idea what that means or how they will do that, but that sounds neat."
I'm actually for that, because that was my issue with PSVR. I had a lot of motion sickness using it, and that was honestly one of the deal breakers of why I ended up selling mine. So
Yeah. You know, like I remember playing Rigs.
yeah.
Rigs?
Oh my god, that was the worst.
That game made me sick almost immediately.
Vomit inducer.
There's a couple of things as well. There's a thing that they got going, which is like flexible scaling resolution, which is like, you know, as games get more intensive, you know, if it's too much for the console to handle, they'll reduce the resolution to save on performance because low frame rate in VR is like, you know, an issue.
Yeah.
But there's another thing as well, which they were talking about, which was like eye tracking for like occlusion, which is interesting. That's not something I'd ever heard of. So perhaps the biggest news back in May was PSVR will feature eye tracking capabilities, which will make possible much as a performance improvements technique called foveated rendering. So basically that means they can track your eyes inside the helmet, so know where you're looking, so they don't have to render the other pixels at a higher resolution, which is like, that's wild stuff.
Is that like, that would be kind of like a modification, you know, like there are those phones, I don't know, like the Blackberries that used to track your eye movement when you're reading documents and would move down with you and all that. That would kind of like be that technology, but kind of modified to utilize in VR and be able to use more like an upscaling technology kind of deal that basically kind of allows less power to go through it.
Yeah. So like when making games, there's a thing called like basically you can occlude objects that you are not seeing. So for example, like there was a GIF that was going around way back when Horizon came out, where they showed what the camera is seeing when Ayla is looking in one direction, and as she turns around, the cone of vision that you can see inside the game basically calls the objects to be rendered, so that the objects that you're not seeing are not being rendered, because that will be a waste of resources for the console, and it also means that what you are seeing can be at a high level of detail. So this would be a similar thing, except not that they're going to stop rendering things that you're not directly looking at, but it would be at least things that you are not directly looking at could be rendered at a lower resolution. I believe is if I'm understanding this correctly, that's what I assume it is. Which is very interesting. I know another headset does do eye tracking inside the headset already. I don't remember what headset that is, but apparently it's not bad. I don't know if it was a really amazing piece of technology, but like it does exist. So it's not like it's not unheard of, let's say. So that would be cool.
Yeah, I was looking up the GIF for that cone, because I do remember seeing that, and that bit of technology there that I remember seeing when Horizon launched, I was so wowed by that they were able to kind of minimize console resources by basically only rendering that cone of vision that was on display. And the fact that it renders almost instantaneously, that is marvelous. Like, that is something that of like technological genius, to be completely honest, because the fact that like something so grand is able to be rendered in real time, you could spin that camera as fast as you want, but the fact is that cone is the only thing that you see, like the only thing that's on display is what's being rendered in real time. That is incredible. And the fact that that technology will probably be used here in some format to kind of only render specific areas and everything else, once again, a testament to how powerful the PlayStation hardware truly is. So that's
totally. And yeah, like I just sent you the GIF as well on Discord. So, but yeah, like I'm like this, like occlusion culling is not like a new thing. It's but what like it.
No, it's not. No, they've used that.
Totally.
Like Crash Bandicoot, I believe, was even using that too. So
yes. I think they had to develop their own version of that back then, because that was like how that game works. The reason you run around, well, like the reason the path in the first Crash game is so windy is so that as you're winding around, the stuff that because you're only walking towards the camera, when the path bends, the stuff that's behind it can then get deloaded. Because they were pushing everything to the limits.
I remember an interview with, I can't remember who it was. One of the developers. It was Mark Cerny. What am I thinking? Yeah, Mark Cerny brought that up during a developer interview about Crash Bandicoot, and I was so wowed by that as well. I was like, man, they really were innovative and really tried to push. Like I remember this was also like way back. We go further back to 2D platformers, and Nintendo were talking about the same thing with Super Mario Bros. 3, where basically what you would notice is, as Mario runs across the screen, you'll notice on the the right-hand side of the screen, depixelation happening. That is essentially code trying to basically render real-time what is happening on screen, and the rest becomes kind of like 1101s as you kind of head off, and that kind of erases it from the RAM, basically. So that in itself is awesome. Like that technology, how far it has come and being developed into like 3D worlds and everything. Oh man, so good, so awesome, so interesting, so intriguing. I love that stuff. So yeah, man.
And if anyone is interested in hearing more about some of that stuff, there was a great interview with Andy Gavin of Naughty Dog on Ars Technica about developing for the first PlayStation and doing that stuff. Like I watched it years ago when it came out, and it's really good. It is really, really interesting.
We'll source that.
Interested in that.
We'll source that and put that in the links below so you guys can check that out. Let's move on to the next one. This one comes by way of Shannon over at Press Start, who says, Kenneth Bridge of Spirits has been delayed again. This is sad because I was looking forward to this one.
Me too.
One of the most promising PS5 titles, Kenneth Bridge of Spirits, has been delayed again. The game was originally supposed to launch alongside the PS5 before being pushed to August 24th, but now it has a new release date of September 21st. I'm okay with this. This is not too far away. If it gets delayed again after September, then I'm still okay with it because, I don't want the game to be broken in any way.
Sure,
This is the one game I want to be perfect. I don't want anybody to shit on this game. Don't shit on this game, please. And that, honestly, that's it's what I'm worried about. But anyway, the announcement came via Twitter, which said, we have made the difficult decision to delay the release of Kena Bridge of Spirits until September 21st to polish the game across all platforms. The team has been working extremely hard, and we feel the extra time is critical to ensure the best experience possible. We know that many of you are eager to play and appreciate your patience. There should be a comma. And appreciate your patience as the team continues to work on delivering the best version of Kena. Thank you for your amazing support.
Dash editing the announcement of the
man.
Of the Kena Bridge of Spirits.
It's like, we know you're eager to play, and we appreciate your patience as the team. Like Anyway, don't worry about that. But yes. Hey man, it's my job. What can you do?
I know. Hey, I
just get in a roll. But yeah, no, this is the one that I'm a little bummed by that. If there's anything else that 2021 can't bum us out about, seriously, it's a delay of Kena Bridge of Spirits. The one game, honestly, that I've been kind of looking forward to because it's just such a visually stunning game.
Yeah,
but I will admit that the last preview that they had some performance issues. And I don't want that for this game. I don't want them to have to release a buggy title and have critics have an excuse to shit on it.
Right.
So, you got any thoughts?
Oh, I mean, delay your games until they're ready. It's been a rough couple of years. No one, at any point in any development, no one should be upset when a game gets delayed. No one wants to delay a game. You do it because it's not ready. You don't want it to end up, less than what they want on release. And yeah, I'm with you. I am looking forward to this game a lot. I remember when it was announced on was it the PlayStation 5 showcase? Like the first one? Is that when they showed
it was,
off? Yeah. I thought it looked great then. I'm still keen to see it. I think it just looks gorgeous.
Yeah. I akin it to like a Pixar film or a DreamWorks movie, actually, I should say, more DreamWorks movie than anything. And it looks stunning, but once again, I'm okay with this.
I want to say the team that was making it, they used to do shorts on YouTube, like animated shorts.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if you honestly might have seen it, because this one did the rounds a lot ages ago. There was there was a Majora's Mask short that went around about like a kid. Same team.
Is that them?
Yeah.
I didn't know
that's
that.
them.
Oh,
Yeah, like
well,
if
I
you
might
go
have,
on Ember Lab's YouTube channel, you can see the Kingdom Bridge of Spirits like announcement trailer, and if you keep going down, you'll see that video, which a lot of people have already seen.
God damn.
Yeah.
Man, I wanted that remake so bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nah, but that's got me even more excited because honestly, Kenna looks awesome, but that Majora's Mask remake, man. One day, Nintendo. One day. No. The next one comes by way of Taylor Lyles over at IGN, who says, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice gets free Xbox Series X and S optimization patch. A very nice way to celebrate the game's 4-year anniversary. So yeah, this is more Xbox news than what it is PlayStation, but we find it fitting that we have to bring it up here for obvious reason.
Yeah.
Let me continue before we do. Ninja Theory's critically acclaimed action-adventure game Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice was one of the most popular games released in 2017, exclusively for PlayStation 4 at the time. If you have yet to experience it, developer Ninja Theory has released an optimization patch today on Xbox Series X and S, updating a number of visual elements excuse me, for new gen consoles. The new update allows the game to take full advantage of Microsoft's 9th generation gaming hardware, meaning Hellblade not only gets improved basic visuals, but includes additional perks such as DirectX ray tracing and 3 graphical modes: performance, resolution, and enriched, with ladder mode offering support for ray tracing. If you own an Xbox copy, digitally or physically, you will receive the update at no additional cost. The game is also available on Xbox Game Pass as well as Xbox Cloud Gaming. An optimization patch for the PC version of the game is currently in development, though there are no plans to bring this update to additional platforms at the moment.
Meaning PlayStation.
Yeah, I'll let you start on this one.
Oh, it's a shame. Because I own that on PlayStation, and I want to. I mean, look, it's on Game Pass, and I've got Game Pass, so that's not a big deal for me if I really want to go back and play it. But yeah, that's a shame for folks on PlayStation who don't have an Xbox, and want to see the, Ninja Theory make fucking gorgeous games.
Oh, man, yeah.
I'm really excited for Hellblade 2. I have no idea what a sequel to this game looks like, but that's cool that they want to do that. Yeah, it's a shame it's not coming to PlayStation.
A real kick in the dick, some might say, because this really is one of those things where, as someone who played it on PlayStation and really, really enjoyed this game,
yeah,
for one, its visual aesthetic; two, its magnanimous audio technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a real kick in the dick for PlayStation owners because it really kind of is telling right now of what really is happening in this industry. Okay, there is still issues with Xbox, and one thing that I'm finding to be the common theme here is exclusives. That is it. Like, they can say, okay, well, yeah, we got Senua's Sacrifice, yeah, but do you really have it as, people can play the first one on PlayStation right now. Yeah, fine, they don't get the Xbox upgrade or whatever, but they don't need to own an Xbox to play it. Again, there's games like Forza, there's games like Gears. Yeah, okay, they're exclusive. They're licensed exclusives to Xbox. They're not console exclusive. And again, there is the issue that lies within there that you don't need to own an Xbox to play most of these games. Hellblade, however, to play this version, yeah, you need to own an Xbox Series X. I can respect that. Will that be the case, though, when the sequel arrives? Are we going to be... Do you really think that it's going to stay exclusive to Xbox?
I mean, they...
No, I'm not saying to PlayStation. Do you think it's going to land on PC?
Oh, okay. No, yes, I think it'll land on PC.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
What makes it an imperative piece of hardware? It really... Right now, it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, where? What?
It's not about the hardware. It's about the subscription.
Yeah, but then again, you can own an Xbox Game Pass subscription and play those games on your PC. Whatever is available for PC.
Yeah. Yeah, but they want you in that ecosystem.
Yeah.
If you have a PS5 at the moment.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, if you have a PS5 at the moment, there's a good chance you have an okay PC. Or an Xbox. And like there are people obviously who don't have all of those. They only have a PS5, and that's fine. But like it's that if you have a PS5 right now, there's a good chance you at least are active enough in games to go out and try and find a PS5 when they were very difficult to find. They still are.
Yeah.
So like you're into gaming enough that you want to cop that. And so you probably have access to at least a device that has Game Pass. And we've spoken about this before with cloud and all that stuff. They just want you in their system. They basically just want them to look better than the opposition.
Yeah.
And this is like just another little notch that they can have and say, hey, look, it's only here, wherever you want, but with us, anywhere you want.
Yeah.
But with us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I jest. So the other night, I took a little bit of a funny jab with some friends who are more on the PlayStation side than anything, because Xbox just recently announced their Gamescom conference that's coming up.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was said in that conversation, well, the initiation of that conversation was more or less, hey guys, are you ready for a whole lot of announcements of nothing? And it's like, because, yeah, Xbox can bring what they want to the table, but at the end of the day, it's going to be kind of like, we've got some updates on Forza.
Yeah. It'll be like another car racing game.
Yeah, like that's the only thing really that I'm kind of like excited for this year from Xbox is Forza Horizon 5. There's nothing else that makes me go, oh, I'm excited to turn on my Xbox this year to play such and such.
You're not a Halo person?
Oh, well, I'll play Halo. But
if I have to.
What I would say. Not like, yeah, I was a Halo person until 343 took over.
Sure. Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. Will Infinite be any better? We'll see. But am I excited? I'm indifferent.
Oof.
Hey man, I'm only being honest here.
Punch Chief in the nuts with that one.
Okay.
Not even like, I'm not excited. I'm not looking forward to it.
Are you excited?
Yeah, but I'm a Halo person.
Oh.
But I'm not a Halo 5 person. I own that game since launch and I still haven't finished it. And I have no intention of doing that.
Why not, Jez?
Yeah, who could say? Maybe because it sucks. But like, I think they've done a good job with Archive Collection. They put in the work. That's a good product now.
When that launched, it was arse.
I know because I had it at launch. It was, but now it's great. Now it's a really good thing. It only took them 8 years.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, the thing is, I didn't get into the Halo Infinite beta. I was one of the 7 people that was not allowed in. And so I was Eric Andre on the fence of the White House shouting, "Let me in," while everybody else was playing against bots and having a great time. And look, they played the Halo 3 like music in one of the Infinite trailers, and his suit looks cool. And it turns out that's all I need because I'm a sucker. But like, yeah, Hellblade.
Hey man, that's how they get you for their campaigning, though. Honestly, so
yeah, it is.
Let's talk about Jason Schreier. The next one comes by way of Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg. For those who don't know, I don't like Jason Schreier.
Blocked gamer.
PlayStation video game Horizon Forbidden West delayed to 2022. In brackets, allegedly. All right. This is Mr. Schreier just throwing out his dick and going, rumor, without saying rumor. So, but let's be honest, he's right.
Yeah, right. The thing is, he's never been wrong.
No, oh no. Sony Corp has delayed the upcoming PlayStation game Horizon Forbidden West to the first quarter of 2022, according to a person familiar with the matter. Previously, it had been scheduled for release this holiday season. Horizon Forbidden West is an open-world action-adventure game, and the sequel to... We know that, Jason. Whatever the fuck. Anyway, so that is the news. That is the news out of that. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, let's talk a little bit about this. So, Horizon Forbidden West was supposed to be launching this year. We didn't expect it alongside, obviously, at launch when they first revealed it last year.
No, not at all.
But the fact now that they've kind of don't have a holiday game is concerning, especially now that, like we just mentioned, Halo.
Yep.
Does it push?
To be fair, Halo was meant to be holiday last year.
Yeah, I know, right? But this would have been good competition for that in a way. Now they don't have anything. What do PlayStation have from this moment forward for people to get excited about other than a re-release of Ghost of Tsushima?
Death Stranding, the director's cut.
Nobody gives a shit about that, Jeremy. Don't try and fill it up with Kojima's bullshit, all right?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty light.
Yeah.
This was going to be it.
Yep.
Because like they announced earlier in the year, God of War was not going to be coming this year. Anybody that thought it was going to was like kidding themselves. There was no chance we were going to see that.
Hey, look, I didn't put it in my draft earlier this year.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god.
Maybe now is the time to bring back Blasto. Like I said before. Look, I honestly don't know what the rest of the year looks like for them. I'm really racking my brain trying to think what else they have.
They have nothing. No, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I looked yesterday. I was looking yesterday, and just to kind of gauge what the scene was going to look like for the rest of the year, because I thought, okay, I bet they get a schedule out for like reviews for writers and everything else, just to kind of gauge who wants what to cover this year. And I was looking at PlayStation even for myself, and I was like, man, it is dry in this well, so like they're not even giving us drips.
There's nothing here.
Yeah, man. Like Ghost of Tsushima, as exciting as it is, we've already played it. And okay, fine, faster loading times and everything else might be nice, but that's nothing new.
I can think of one exclusive.
Okay.
And you're going to laugh.
Oh, please.
It's Deathloop, developed by Microsoft.
That's an Xbox game.
the only PS5 exclusive left to come out this year is now being developed by Microsoft.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. There's nothing else.
To be more precise on that, is being developed by Xbox Game Studio. Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm looking at a list of games. It's like even Lost Judgment, which has been in the past a really big thing. Like, well, at least a pretty big thing for PlayStation. Yakuza games are now coming out on Xbox anyway.
Yeah.
So
it really is like it is a state of kind of. It's not a state of play; it's a state of emergency. It really is.
Well, that's a headline. You should cut that out.
PlayStation. That's going to be the title of this episode. It really is. We're kind of like it's concerning how dry it is. Are we now? Is this going to be an example of what PlayStation 5 is going to be further into its generation? Due to the fact that we're in the midst of a pandemic, people are working from home, and this pandemic could be gone for the foreseeable future. We could be in this for like the long haul at the moment. Like, it shows right now, even in Australia, we're kind of just cancelled PAX this week, which we'll be bringing up in a second. But it's just, this is one of those things right now where this is a leading example of what may happen this gen because of our current circumstances. Yep.
And like, I think there are outliers. I think that Insomniac releasing Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and then Ratchet and Clank back to back. That's pretty good. Obviously, those games lined up in a way that was like very favorable for them.
Yeah.
But like that's still they did that. And as far as we're aware, without crunch.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
like that's like, you know, props to them for like being able to do that. I think what this maybe is more of an indictment of in some regard is the style of game that Sony want to put out, which is the big, long, epic prestige titles that they love, which they're very, very good at, but they take a long time to make. And when they time their releases in ways that we got a bunch towards the end of the PS4. We got so many, you know, we got Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, we got God of War was a few years prior to that, and we got Death Stranding as well. Like those are their favorite type of games to be bringing out. And
yeah, sorry, go on.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, they take a long time to make, and so when they take a long time to make, sometimes you have droughts, and it's like I feel like maybe they need to rethink the scope of some of the games they want to make, or at least maybe. I mean, like, don't they have another studio which hasn't brought anything out yet? Don't they have one of those quadruple A studios?
That's the studio that's working on the Uncharted game.
Supposedly. Oh, right, of course. Yeah, because Naughty Dog are doing The Last of Us remake or something.
Yeah. Okay, so it's funny that you mentioned this because it's something that you've brought up before on the podcast, which is Sony always aiming to do AAA Hollywood blockbusters now instead of actually working on small titles. And that is now becoming apparent and an issue with, you know, production cycle and just actually outputting titles. It really kind of okay, fine. You can have the big Hollywood blockbuster titles like the big AAAs.
They're amazing at them.
Yeah, but now they need to kind of like aim and focus on small studios too. They need to really kind of push the agenda there and say, okay, we need something in the interim.
Yeah. Yeah, like we need a double A or a, you know, even like a good indie hit.
Yeah.
You know, like exclusive. In the past. Yeah, like in the past they had, you know, like that game company doing games like Journey and Flower. They were obviously very successful for them. And Microsoft are out here releasing, you know, like I know you're not a fan of it, but like they got Psychonauts 2 coming out really soon, which is like got a very big following.
Yeah.
They had The Medium, which is like a double A game that came out. They've got...
It was okay. Bit shit.
Yeah. But like that's coming to PS5 soon.
Still shit.
Like they have those smaller projects that are being worked on. Because they went out and acquired a lot of these studios to make sure they have this talent behind them. But they still went out and did that.
Yeah.
So like maybe Sony should look at like a white paper games or something, or should go out and look for. I'm trying to think of like another smaller, like middle of the road, like developer that is not going to make the biggest games, but not something that's so small, like another No Man's Sky, but like without the
Sean Murray, without the Sean Murray.
Well, he's fine.
Fine. Sure. I'm sure.
There's a new update coming out. Looks great.
Yeah, I saw the trailer actually this morning. It looks all right. I haven't played No Man's Sky since launch.
You should. It's great.
I have been wanting to dive in and actually play it again because it's, from what I hear, it's a completely different game now. So
yeah, it 100% is.
Yeah, so I'll definitely be checking it out once this new patch launches for us. So, the one thing I will say is, will we ever see during this generation? I'll ask you: do you think that during this generation, you think we'll ever see a year as successful as 2017 when they had titles like Horizon, Persona? Like the industry kind of had this big boom of games in 2017. It was huge, and I'm talking like across the board. I'm not just talking PlayStation, but like. If I go back to that year, I name Horizon, Persona, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey. Xbox kind of had the same thing going, but
Resident Evil 7, Nier Automata, Destiny 2, Prey, Wolfenstein 2, Assassin's Creed Origins.
2017 was a huge year.
Uncharted Lost Legacy, Hellblade, Sonic Mania, Cuphead. Like it was a stacked year.
Do you think we'll ever see that this generation?
That's really hard to say. I don't know. I know we're not going to see a year like that for a while.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's really hard to tell.
Maybe
It's
next
really
year.
hard to tell.
Maybe next year, Horizon versus Breath of the Wild 2 next year.
Oh, please. That's what I'm so worried about. It can't happen again.
Who was I talking to about that? Yeah. Oh,
It was
yeah,
me.
Betson. Yeah, it was you, and I was talking to Ryan about that too. And you both had the same concern. Well, okay, explain it to me. Why are you so concerned?
Because Horizon didn't get what it was due because everybody was looking at Breath of the Wild, which makes sense because that game, reinvented.
Are you a hater
Zelda.
or do you like it?
I don't like the game, but I'm not gonna. But I don't think it's bad. I think that's a me problem. Like I've spoken to enough people that love this game that I'm sitting there going, yeah, I'm missing something, and that's fine. But I love Horizon Zero Dawn very, very much, and I don't want it to fight an uphill battle again. It doesn't deserve that.
No.
Give it its space. Let it breathe. Let people naturally realize, oh, this is really good, as opposed to, hey, this is cool, but I'm getting more out of this than I'm getting more out of Breath of the Wild 2 than I am out of this.
It is this natural immersion that just comes from either one or the other, and it's more a preference.
Yeah, and I was talking to Kerry about this on Minimapcast, and he was saying, I don't think Horizon Zero Dawn is a bad game by any means, but when I played that game for the first time, I was upset that I couldn't climb up every wall. And that's because he was just playing Breath of the Wild when it was coming out, which you can do that. And so it just felt a whole lot more freeing for him to play. So
I got caught up. I know we've kind of gone on about this a little much, but still, it's kind of pertains to it. Anyway, so I got caught up in Breath of the Wild because of the Switch launch, obviously, and with Switch coming out, Breath of the Wild, it's a new toy, so you have to play it.
Yes.
For me, Breath of the Wild kind of, I played Horizon first, didn't get attached to it. I was like, this isn't working for me. Jumped to Persona 5, got hooked. Then I was like, okay, cool, this is awesome, blah, 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 blah. Went back and played Horizon. Well, so I played Breath of the Wild first. After Horizon's launch, I was like, okay, I'm liking this a lot better. Played to its, to its end. I was like, that was an awesome game. Loved it. Played Persona 5 right through. Was hooked. Loved it. Went back to Horizon. And I found like this newfound appreciation for it. Because after playing Breath of the Wild, I was really like, this is awesome. This has got what I want in a Zelda campaign. But the one thing that was really missing from it was a narrative.
Right.
Horizon gave me that narrative, and it also gave me that sense of adventure. And it was it was just great. Like the pacing of it, everything. It had a natural flow that I can say is really a perfect game. Is it a perfect game? Nothing's a perfect game, but it does sit up there as one of PlayStation's greatest of all time. And
especially from a studio that was, previously famous for making Killzone, which, had been like done a lot by the time they were still doing
I was waiting for you to say something worse there, like, average first-person shooters or something.
Yeah. And like, look, it's, I think them coming out with this, what a big swing, with like, hey, we've got this brand new thing. It's unlike anything we've done before. This is an open world RPG when we're famous for making linear first-person shooters with no personality. And
wow, Killzone Shadowfall wasn't that bad.
It was. Look, it's a PS4 launch game. It's fine.
But I don't understand the hate that game gets. It wasn't that bad.
It's the knack of first-person shooters. It's fine. It's completely inoffensive. Knack was fine. Knack is fine.
Knack was. I like Knack 2. Knack 2 was alright.
I have not played Knack 2.
The trailer was good.
Mark Cerny announced Knack 3. Look, it's. like Horizon was a swing for the fence, and they really, really did a really great job at it. And yeah, like you said, the narrative was really cool. I remember getting to like one of the like a big crux of that game where you get up to a very high point in the game, and you learn about a lot of the backstory in this really cool way. And I remember sitting there going like, "Wow!" And I was doing some side quests while I was doing the main quest and doing side quest, and then I'm like, "Oh, I found this out," and I was like, "Main quest. I want to know what's next. I want to know what's next." And like it hooked me in a way that a lot of games don't. So I like, you know.
It really it helped me make the decision almost immediately to get Frozen Wilds when that came out.
Yeah,
like when that 100%. DLC dropped, I was like, yeah, bam, buy. So
one of the best DLCs I've ever played.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. I'm with you, man. Yeah, it's just a disappointment that we kind of have to wait a little longer for Horizon, but I'm okay. Once again, delays are good. So
yeah,
hopefully we will see it sooner than later. Hopefully Jason Schreier's wrong. Fingers crossed Jason Schreier's wrong. I want him to be wrong.
Like what you're hearing today? Be sure to follow all Dash Gamer podcasts on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify by simply typing dashgamer.com into the search bar of your favorite podcast provider. And don't forget to check out our gaming, anime, and pop culture related news on dashgamer.com. Now back to the show.
The next one comes by way of good friend of the show, Alex Walker, over at Kotaku, who says, PAX Australia has been cancelled. Will be replaced with online show. Now, before I continue, I had been told about this, I think it was Saturday night, I believe. Either Friday or Saturday night, I believe. I was told that this was going to happen, but I was told that it was going to be announced yesterday. This I'll preface this by saying that I'm not surprised by this at all. This has been something I've been saying the entire year. PAX was not going to happen, so I didn't build up any anticipation for it. I see a lot of people disappointed online on Twitter today about it. Yeah, it's just, all right, let me read the article. PAX Australia will no longer be held as an in-person event, with the show cancelled in favour of an online convention instead. The event will be replaced with an online-only event, although the lack of physical show for a second year running will understandably disappoint many fans. Concerns had been hovering around a physical convention all year. Not only was the rise of the Delta outbreaks across Australia a concern, but many vendors faced issue representing international clients at PAX Australia due to global policies barring any physical events for the rest of 2021. The move to an online-only show, as was the case with PAX Online in 2020 and PAX earlier, the move to an online show anyway, quote, the fact that we can't do so in person at PAX Oz 2021 has left us all heartbroken, but it's the right choice for our community team partners to postpone this year's show and look to the future, PAX announced. Alright, so it's canned for another year. Alright, so now.
Yeah.
Here's how I looked at it. From earlier on in the year, when they announced PAX, I'll be upfront with you, I thought it was a little reckless.
Right.
And the reason I say that is because of we're about to get a little political here. Vaccination numbers we're coming last in the world. Let's just face fact, and we still kind of are.
Yeah, we are doing awful. Like we've had good announcements, but like it has been fucking atrocious here.
Yeah, pat yourself on the back, Feds. It's nothing. It's nothing. Like when they announced PAX, we were at, I think, like 3% vaccinated. 3% vaccinated, and you're going to announce a convention.
Yeah.
And the fact that they announced the convention at the Melbourne Convention Exhibition Centre, where they are housing the main vaccination hub. What were they going to do? Kick out the Vax hubs for PAX this year?
Well, so I will say I don't know if that vaccination hub existed when they announced that it was going to be there.
No, but like as soon as that was the fact that they waited this long to announce this, the fact that they put the pre-sale tickets were put on a week or two after vaccination hubs were announced.
Right.
For me personally, when I saw that, I was a little bit heartbroken by the fact that PAX would take the initiative to do that, and I was like, okay, I understand your optimism. You're excited. Everybody's excited. You know, there might be a sense of normalcy here that will just be reinstated all of a sudden. Now that we have PAX this year or something. But there are problems. No international guests. No publishers are going to be able to show off their wares. You're not going to really be able to sell enough tickets based on the fact that, you know, you're going to have PAX Rising as just you're pretty much the only thing. And no offense to indies or Australian indies or anything like that. It's just
PAX Rising is incredible, but it's not going to bring people in.
No, that's why the GCAP was it? I think that's called. That's what you know promotes more the indie side of gaming.
Well, GCAP is for developers. GCAP is not really a consumer show.
No, not really, but it really kind of pushes more the indie side of anything. GCAP does more of that than PAX. PAX Rising does a good job of that, but I believe that like outside of PAX, there's always events that happen in Melbourne Gaming Week.
Like there's like showcases and there's you know there's other nights and stuff. There's like my favorite event in all of Games Week is Free Play Parallels. Which is like an indie showcase, and it's amazing every year. Yeah. That's a video. That's people sit and watch a stream. That is not people come to booths and play the games.
Right.
So
I mean, look, yes, it's disappointing. You won't be able to get together at a bar and get drunk with your friends. You can do that anytime after you're vaccinated or, you know, whatever. But the point is that right now we're in a state of emergency across the bloody country at the moment, and it's understandable that they had to cancel. I sit in a minority at the moment of people that are like, oh well, I didn't get my hopes up for it at all.
Yeah, like I haven't been optimistic that this is happening for a long time.
Yeah.
But I was thinking maybe it will happen when because there was a good chunk of this year where Australia had no cases or like 1 or 2 cases in hotel quarantine, and we were out of lockdown for a very long time. It
seemed like it was going to happen. Yeah.
I was sitting in theaters, you know, 2 times a week without a mask on, right? Like that's like, no, that doesn't happen now.
Yeah.
Australia was very lucky with its COVID numbers, and has been for a very long time. And, you know, the fact that we fumbled the fucking vaccination when we had the golden ticket, that everyone could have just gone and get it. But it turns out we didn't have any because our government fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. Federal government fucking sucks. We are in Victoria, by the way. So if I lived in New South Wales, I would also say my state government also sucks.
You're not a fan of Daddy Dan Andrews?
No. I was saying if I was in New South Wales, I would say my state government sucks. I have issues with Dan Andrews, but that's a different thing.
Don't hate on Dan Andrews. Go on.
Okay, we won't.
He gets enough flack.
Politician. Yeah. Anyway, like I think Victoria especially has been quite lucky with how little cases we've had. But like, you know, Delta's a whole new ball game. We don't know how long it's going to last. And look, I knew the moment that we went back into lockdown, like, oh yeah, PAX is not going to happen. But like, it's still my favorite time of year, and I was still looking forward to seeing people we've never met. You know,
no, I know what we have, but not technically like how we know each other now.
Well, we've never met in person.
Yeah, we have.
No, we haven't.
We have a couple of times. You just don't know it.
Oh, back when I was working at EB Games.
Yeah,
right,
that's right. Yeah.
Sure.
That's how I knew. Like when I saw that Reddit thread, I was like, that seems like the guy from EB Games. Yeah, so that's how that's
funny.
Knew. Yeah, but we have met each other, but we just not how we know each other now, really.
Yeah, no.
But no, I'm in agreement with you. Look, I got accepted for press. I got accreditation. A few weeks ago, and also, it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago now, and I was excited. I was like, cool. At least I know I got my pass, and at that point, I was like, it's on shaky grounds. I don't know whether that's actually going to happen. Have you not seen New South Wales and what's going on? Oh, that's right. You actually live there, so you probably know what's going on. For me, I'm like now in a state of just another punch in the gut, not something else that just isn't going to happen.
And I'm with you as well in terms of, I remember when they announced that it was going to be in Melbourne again this year, and they were like, yeah, it's going to be at the Melbourne Convention Exhibition Centre. And I remember seeing some of the tone that was being used by some of the people who were organising PAX, and it was very like self-assured in a way that was like it people were asking legitimate questions about like, hey, like what's going to be the go with vaccinations, what's going to be the go with who's allowed in, are you going to require a COVID negative test to enter the space or whatever. And they were being semi-flippant, I think, with some of the responses that made me go like, this is not really the way to do it. Like you need to be very, very careful. And not that I think that they would have been reckless or intentionally careless with safety procedures, but like just the language that we used around it made me feel kind of like you're there to organize the event because that's what PAX does. It's an event company, and they're just they're rightfully so upset they haven't been able to run their event for years.
Yeah, of course.
But like
that's money out of their pocket, and I can understand.
It totally is.
That's PAX Australia, because PAX Australia falls under the ReedPop organization, which is from the US, and Penny Arcade Expo that heads all the PAX events across the world. You bring up a good point, and that was my early concern as well. My early concern was, I don't know what the messaging here is. Is it we don't really care if anybody's vaccinated? You can come anyway if you got a pass. I was very much. So I was discussing this with a lot of people within the industry, no names or anything like that, but it's they also told me that they weren't happy for the fact that it was announced. They were actually like I'm talking like some publishers and stuff. They weren't happy that this was announced, and it was just a case of and this has come from multiple organizations as well. It's like they were just like, man, I don't know if this is the right call, like to have PAX this year at all. And then I got word that some were pulling out, some were giving PAX the heads up that, hey, we might not be coming this year, so just letting you know. And that kind of to me was conveying a message of, okay, so if all these people don't come, and you only have PAX Rising, how are you selling this event? Then it kind of got me into thinking that a lot of these people are just buying tickets to have a hangout. And I was like, you can have a hangout anywhere for free. Why did we need PAX this year? We didn't.
Why would you want to go to a place that every other year of every year that I've been that hasn't been a pandemic, I've gotten sick from it anyway.
And a vaccination hub.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Exactly. I said it last year before PAX was cancelled last year. I said, man, the PAX Box this year is going to be interesting. And it would have been definitely interesting this year if they went ahead with it. I was like, yeah. For me, it was like, good luck getting into the state, first of all.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. Like the moment that you can't actually get people even within the same country, they're like, it's for the dogs.
Oh, well, we'll be waiting till next year, I guess, but PAX Online looks like it's going to be happening again. Last year we did Generosity with PAX Online, so I might look into doing it again this year, so we'll see what happens. The next one comes by way of Ian Walker over at Kotaku, who says, PS5 dev kits quickly pull from eBay. This one's funny. Earlier today, a pair of PlayStation 5... today was a few days ago, last Wednesday. Earlier today, a pair of PlayStation 5 development kits reportedly popped up on eBay before being taken off the auction site within a few hours. The items, a DF1 D1000 AA dev kit.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yes, and a DFI T1000 AA test kit were originally spotted by Twitter users Zubitech and IDC-X leaked. Both of whom were able to pull images from the listing prior to its disappearance. A screenshot of the eBay page indicates that the two consoles managed to reach a euro cost of 2,850 euros, which is around 3,373 US dollars, which is around about 5,000 Australian dollars, after 12 bits. While the test kit appears almost identical to the retail, appears in terms of specs, images of the dev kit. I was going to say it doesn't look nothing like the retail. It looks like that pizza reheater that they were.
It does.
That I was like, man, please don't make it this. Please don't make it. You know, honestly, back then when I looked at this machine, when it was like all these blueprints and everything, all these all these filings started coming out. Filings of patents started coming out. I was like, man, please don't make it this. Please don't make it this. Now I look at it and I look at my machine and I'm like, I'd rather that.
Yeah, this thing looks cool in a like fucked up future kind of way.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like PlayStation 5 from Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Images. So the article goes on. Images of the dev kit highlight the unique V-shaped construction used in pre-release patents. That thing is a beast and even manages to look like a car engine when positioned vertically. Also photographed for the short-lived eBay listing were two all-black DualSense controllers, contrasting the more prominent two-tone control schemes of the peripheral's currently available designs. Again, this thing looks sick. I would have loved to have my hands on one of these bad boys. Obviously, if they are really if they are that accessible and that they are in the wild, that's an oh boy. And I tell you why, because there is an active scene out there that are ready to they're salivating to crack open the PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
And this would be that ticket, basically, to doing that.
Maybe, yeah. Like, there's potential for it. This thing looks like I need a ripcord to turn it on. Like, I feel like it's like a lawnmower. I gotta yank a cord to get it to go. A few times. Yeah, it does look cool. Like, it looks cool in a that's never gonna hit market kind of way, but fuck, it looks cool.
Oh, lovely.
It's also got a screen on it as well, and it spits out debug information as you're playing.
Yeah.
Which is useful because if your game crashes and you don't know why, it'll tell you.
Yeah.
I wonder where it came from. I wonder who had one of these who then decided they don't want it anymore, need the money.
I don't know who did, but whoever listed it pretty much had the FBI knocking on their door for sure.
Property of Corey Barlog.
Oh yeah, Corey Barlog just shows up out of nowhere.
It's his PlayStation.
The most friendly cop ever just knocks on your door. Hey, I'm Corey Barlog. Man, look how many USB ports this thing has.
Yeah, right.
Man, it really is kind of like a dreamboat kind of situation where I'm like, man, I would love to have my hands on it, but at the same time, I understand why this is potentially dangerous. And like I said, it's more or less the homebrew scene. If somebody ever got their hands on one of these machines, it's game over for the PlayStation 5. Much like right now how the Nintendo Switch base model has been cracked open. And homebrew developers are all over that shit.
Yeah, they had to put out a hardware revision. They were doing it anyway, but like the hardware revision that they did when they extended the battery life a couple years into the console is what actually fixed some of those bugs to the point. But where I was working at EB Games, we had customers come in all the time being like, hey, do you have any Switches in stock? And I was like, yeah, we got a ton. And they were like, yeah, but do you have the old ones? And I was like, yeah, I think we got some. And I looked at them and they looked at me and I'm like, homebrew? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So I'll admit, I got two base models. One of them is got homebrew on it. I use it mainly for remote play, so I can play my PS5 on my Switch. And I also have a PlayStation emulation on I dabble in the GameCube emulation on it sometimes. But that's pretty much all it's used for. I don't use it for anything else. And honestly, I haven't turned it on in ages. So my regular Switch is the one that gets used the most.
For Switch games.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, I haven't really used it that much in a while, but I'm really looking forward to the Switch OLED, that's for sure. Let's move on to the next one. This one comes by way of Adam Bankhurst over at IGN, who says, Astrobot dev team Asobi launches new website teasers most ambitious game yet. This is exciting. I can't wait. Astrobot Rescue Mission and Astro's Playroom developer team Asobi has launched a brand new website alongside teasing it is working on its, quote, most ambitious game yet. Team Asobi, which itself is a newly minted PlayStation studio, shared the news about its website on Twitter and the site's About Us page, revealing a bit more about the developer's mission and what it's currently working on. Quote, we are a new and dynamic PlayStation studio based in vibrant Tokyo, Japan. We create top quality games for players of all ages on PlayStation, end quote, Team Asobi wrote. Quote, Our latest work are the critically acclaimed Astrobot Rescue Mission for PlayStation VR and Astro's Playroom for PlayStation 5. We're currently hard at work on our most ambitious game yet. While there have been no details officially revealed as to what this ambitious game is, the current job openings give us a little hint as to what may be going on behind closed doors in Tokyo. For example, the job listing for a game designer position reveals that this person's role will be to, quote, make a variety of levels for a 3D action game, each providing great tempo and creative situations, end quote. The job listing for an environment artist requires someone who is able to put, quote, an emphasis on realistic texturing techniques applied to a playful art style, end quote. Another job listing for an animator may give those wanting another game starring Astro some hope, as Team Asobi is looking for an artist who can, quote, animate a wide range of cartoony and mechanical characters, props, and vehicles used in game, end quote. It still may be some time until we know exactly what Team Asobi is working on, but these teasers are exciting nonetheless and give us a glimpse into what the studio is aiming to create for PS5 owners around the world. Those hints there are essentially, hey, a new Astrobot's coming.
Yeah, like at least a new Astrobot is coming.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the PSVR one, right? Like that would make sense. They seem to be really good with like learning new hardware. And putting something out that'll like get people excited about the hardware that they've just bought.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's that.
Yeah. It just screams Astrobot sequel, Astro's Playroom sequel, well, full on Astrobot game.
I have a prediction.
Okay, go on.
Ape Escape.
Ooh, but you're wrong.
For the other project.
Okay. The reason, it would be cool though. Like the property would be awesome to give to Team Asobi. To do a brand new Ape Escape sounds sick.
They could do it.
They could.
It'd be fun.
It would be. But I think that, here's the issue, is that I think they've devoted so much time to this original IP now that to kind of hand the property over to Team Asobi, they probably look at that and go, oh. Kind of like, oh, that's somebody else's creation. Why are we doing this again?
I reckon Ape Escape has got enough like hearts that they could have some fun with it. They could work the Astrobots into the story. It could be an Astrobot and Ape Escape kind of fucking like mishmash together game. But I reckon that could be really cute. I don't know. This is the only Ape Escape dream I have. They don't exist otherwise.
You really want it to happen, don't you?
Oh, it'd be really fun. It'd be so fun. Either that or maybe I can't think of what else I'd be working on really, because the only other thing I could think maybe would be like a Little Big Planet type thing, but I don't know if Little Big Planet has enough
See that I think
they've been around for a bit now.
I think Little Big Planet's done, to be honest.
For the time being, yeah.
Yeah. from what we discussed this a couple of episodes ago with Media Molecule and how Sony are kind of perceiving the studio after Dreams and everything else. I just don't see Little Big Planet coming back for a long time.
Neither do I.
It sucks to say that, but because I love Dreams, but I think Sony look at like you're right. You were right last time to say Sony look at Dreams and say we're not going to do another game like that.
Yeah, no, they're not going to. And like it's like it was just Sackboy Big Adventure. I don't think really did it for them either. Out of all the launch games, I think that one probably performed the worst.
Yeah.
And like to be fair, it was tough competition between Spider-Man and Demon Souls and a couple others. Like there were some good launch games. But yeah, I don't think it really cut the mustard.
I got a question for you before we head into the last article. I was discussing this with someone. So with the Xbox Gamescom conference coming up, do you think that Hideo Kojima's going to be there?
I don't know. I don't know if he would announce both of the things that he's working on at the same time. Like with Death Stranding Director's Cut and whatever this new project is that he's apparently working on with Microsoft. I don't know if he would wait until Death Stranding would be out. And I
allegedly
don't know
Microsoft, but yeah.
Allegedly, yeah, right, yeah. I mean, you're going to say, pretty soon you're going to start saying allegedly fucking Silent Hill, but like...
It is Silent Hill. It's
not Silent Hill. It's not.
No, go on.
I don't know how their studio functions, right? Like, I feel like they would be the kind of studio to really work on one project until it's done. They would have like, things in the pipeline, concept art, all that stuff, right?
Do you think it's a new property? Do you think it's a new property that would be going to Xbox from Kojima, or do you think? Yeah. You don't think Death Stranding is just getting a port?
No, because the rumor was like a new game. What was going around was like a project, not just like because a port of Death Stranding is not interesting, especially for a game that's been out on PC for 2 years now and like, yeah.
Do you think that Microsoft? Do you think that there's been so do you think there's been a quiet acquisition at all between Microsoft or Sony of Metal Gear?
Of Metal Gear? Of
I'm not going to say Silent Hill because I know that when you say Silent Hill. But do you think there's been a quiet acquisition of any of those IPs for like from either Microsoft or Sony to give him to work? Like I'll say Microsoft. Do you think Microsoft have quietly acquired the rights to either Metal Gear or Silent Hill for Kojima to work on?
No. And I honestly don't think he would want to work on those at the moment anyway. Like, I think it was very deliberate for him to make Kojima Productions. One, so he could make his own projects, and two, so he could stroke his own ego. And like, I think him going back to work on, even though like, Metal Gear was his baby, like literally the baby in Death Stranding. But like, even though like that was his project and he was obviously working very hard on a new Silent Hill that was going to be a Kojima Silent Hill, I think that he wouldn't go back to those projects when he has the option to make a new one, right? Like potentially create another one that would have for hopefully, obviously, for his sake, a legacy that would a legacy to surpass Metal Gear. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think so. I don't think so.
So okay. So
do
if
you?
See, here's my thought process behind it. Is that Microsoft, Xbox, are in a phase right now where they're obviously still kind of like surveying the gaming sphere right now and going, okay, what do we do? The industry is like, we're needing something hot, and they would be like, well, let's make an offer to Konami and let's buy out Metal Gear and offer it to Kojima, and he can make an exclusive Metal Gear for Xbox, right? And let's face fact, Microsoft can. They've got like infinite money.
Oh, they so can. They so can.
They got infinite money. They can turn around and go, "Hey, Konami, here's $9 million. We'll just take Metal Gear. $900 million. Here's Metal Gear. So we'll take Metal Gear off your hands." And Konami will jump all over that because they love money.
I don't think they would.
If they were to sell it, how much do you think that Konami would sell it for?
Oh, I have no idea. I have absolutely no clue. But I think what Konami would say is, you buy, like, it's a package deal. You got to buy the company. You don't reckon? I reckon.
No. If I was Phil Spencer, I'd be like, nah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think Konami of 2021 fits with what Microsoft are doing. Which Konami of 2021 is like holding on to IP with their like cold, dead, wrinkly hands.
I would argue that. Machines. I would argue that with Phil Spencer wanting to Japanese it up.
Oh, he does. He's definitely expressed interest in
JRPGs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and that's totally the thing. Like, that's why I bring it up. Like, I think that with Kojima's legacy behind like Metal Gear and everything else, he won't ever be able to escape that. And for him personally, it's just as much of a closure, and I use that term as closure, Death Stranding was to like, Metal Gear. There's that big part of him that's like, I wasn't finished.
I mean, he referenced Metal Gear in the fucking Death Stranding director's cut teaser from like 2 months ago.
The box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd do it. I think that's him having fun, but I don't think he would do it. I think there are two other companies that I think Microsoft would go to before they would go to Konami. So first one was Sega. Because like there was that rumor going on for a little bit that they were going to buy Sega. It turned out being nothing.
Yeah.
But I could see that being the size of a company that they would want to invest in. Sega are, they're putting out games frequently, but like they're not the Sega of old. They're not the Genesis Sega. And I think that they would be able to, like, I think they have some properties that Microsoft would be very interested in. Especially like Sonic would be a really good fit for Xbox. I think it's a strong character mascot, and it's also a lot more kid friendly than a lot of the stuff that they got going at the moment. And Sonic is very popular, especially they've got movies going on now, right?
So it's funny, yeah, exactly. It's funny that you bring that up. Actually, I've got it on good authority from a very close source that is just close within the industry and knows a lot, basically. I was having a conversation with them around the time the Persona 5 coming to Xbox leaks were happening. At the time, there was no deal signed between Sega and Microsoft at the time. Now, from what I'm hearing, there has been a deal signed, and that Persona 5 will be making its way to Xbox, and an announcement may be imminent from Gamescom.
Is Persona Sega?
It is, yeah. Well, it's Sega owns Atlas.
Does Sega own Atlas? Okay, right. I wasn't aware of that.
So Atlas, so this was back in 2012, I believe. Atlas were going through bankruptcy. They filed for bankruptcy, and they were basically looking for a buyer. Nintendo was the one that was looking at them. Like, Nintendo were like, we're going to buy you. Then Sega just swooped in and bought them.
Right, gotcha.
And Nintendo were like, what the fuck? So, Sega bought Atlas out back in, I think, 2012. So,
this is not how this works. But in my mind, I'm imagining Mario going to give him money and Sonic running faster than him and giving him, like, it's just...
It was, I remember when it was happening because Atlas were very, very much... Atlas were like doing the takedown notices on YouTube here, left and right and center. And so was Sega.
Yeah. And
then all of a sudden, when they went into bankruptcy, Sega were like, "Oh, we'll buy you out, and let's do it together now. Let's take down." So, so basically, so Sega owns Atlas, and that now that from what I'm hearing, there is a deal penned between Sega and Microsoft to have Persona land on Xbox at some point. and an announcement, like I said, is imminent between Gamescom to the end of the year.
Right.
It could happen at Gamescom, but like I said, this is coming from a source within the industry, very reputable as well. I'm not going to name any names, but
Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer himself told me. But yeah, no, yeah. So it's likely to happen, and when it does, that might actually open that forbidden door for Sega to kind of be like, I mean, we've expressed interest in publishing titles on multi-platforms. I mean, yeah, this and that, and then Microsoft just hands them money and says, "Shut up and come here."
Yeah.
So yeah.
So there's that. The other one I was thinking potentially, and that's only because they've had a very, very strong year, and that might be a case against them getting acquired, honestly. But would be Capcom, because
that's an interesting one.
Because they've got they've got one character left for Street Fighter V, and then they'll probably release one more version of that game as like the complete edition, and then they'll be announcing 6. Resident Evil obviously doing very well for them. Monster Hunter obviously doing very, very well for them. And I could see Microsoft looking at that going, hey, like, great job past 12 months.
Here's some money.
Want to come over and do that again for us.
So do you think that Capcom could become Xbox? Like, the idea of that is insane.
Yeah. The idea of them buying Bethesda was insane.
I mean, let's be honest, they overcompensated when they bought them, but...
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, anything can happen right now within the industry. It's so weird. I love it, though. I love that.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun to
Makes
talk
our
about.
job's fun.
I mean, look at it. We're talking about an Xbox Game Studio exclusive that's actually just the last exclusive of the year for PlayStation.
It's because Sony still haven't announced they acquired Bluepoint yet.
And when are they going to announce that Blue Box is Kojima Studios? The next one comes by way. The last one comes by way of Jay Peters over at The Verge, who says Ghost of Tsushima's multiplayer mode is getting new content and a standalone release. He goes on, Ghost of Tsushima's multiplayer mode Legends is getting some new free content and a standalone release. Sony and developer Sucker Punch announced Wednesday. The standalone release will be available on September 3rd for $19.99 US, so basically $20 across the board anyway, on both PS4 and PS5. The same day, a big new 2v2 mode called Rivals will be introduced to Legends. Here's how Darren Bridges, a senior game designer at Sucker Punch, describes it in a blog. In Rivals, 2 teams of 2 will compete to defeat waves of enemies. With each defeated foe, you'll collect a Magadama that you can, I believe that's how you say it, that you can use to harm the other team. For example, you can spend Magadama on shades to block your opponent's purchases, curses, in brackets health drain, exploding bodies, etc., watcher fire, and more. Once you've spent enough Magadama, you'll unlock final stand waves. Complete these before the opposing team to win. And there's a video preview there. Sucker Punch is also launching an update to Legends on August 20, the same day as the release of Ghost of Tsushima's Director's Cut that includes rebalancing survival mode. And the developer is promising that Legends will receive a, quote, new piece of content each week from September 10th throughout through October 1st, not backwards, including a new map for Rivals. If you pick up the standalone Legends and this is the interesting one. If you pick up the standalone Legends and want to play Ghost of Tsushima single player campaign, you can upgrade to Ghost of Tsushima's Director's Cut, which includes a new island to explore and more animals to pet for $40. Yeah,
Woo, woo.
on PS4 and PS5. We had a little bit of a chat before the beginning of the show about this. What? Why are they doing this standalone? It's Ghost of Tsushima's multiplayer mode is excellent for it when it's bundled with the game. There's no reason for them to be like, let's become Apex and just release it.
Apex is free to play, so it doesn't even compete.
let's release it as a paid multiplayer title. It's just weird. It's a weird release.
Yeah, it is a really weird release.
What's your thoughts?
Like I didn't really like. So I'm not a big Ghost of Tsushima person. Yeah, like I thought it was fine. But like
it was fine.
I just thought it was fine. I would have rather another Infamous, to be completely frank. And so when they like I've played the multiplayer. I think like for what it is, the multiplayer is pretty
Fine.
decent. Yeah. It was cool that it was bundled through. You know, I didn't have to pay extra for it. Because I wouldn't have. But I got it for free and I got to play, and it was like, yeah, neat, nice.
Yeah,
cool.
same. Yeah.
Good job.
I don't know what it offers new players though. Like, what are you?
Are there new players?
Yeah, like sucker. Are you gonna sucker people into paying
Sucker
for? Into paying for just the multiplayer itself when they don't have any experience with the mainline campaign. It's just
Who's really going, oh fuck, I really wish I could play the Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer who doesn't own Ghost of Tsushima. Like, like those people don't exist.
No. I mean, look, it's great that they're offering it because
yeah, sure, I guess.
I mean, people could be like, "Hey, man, have you played the Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer? It's fine.
It's fine. You should play it with me."
It's not, but that's the thing. Like we just mentioned, Apex. Apex is awesome, right?
Yeah.
It's something that'd be like, "Hey, Jeremy, let's play a game of Apex." You'd be like, "Yeah, cool. I'll download it and get onto it, and don't have to pay anything. It's free. So cool, done." This you got to pay for it, and it's subpar. It's like,
and it's $20.
No.
Yeah, like you can get some good games for $20. You can get some like, you know how many.
There are so many good indies.
There's so many good indie games you get for $20.
Get Celeste.
Yeah. Yes.
Get Celeste.
Yeah. Get.
I
love Generation.
Oh, there you go.
You know, that game's great.
I love Sucker Punch. I'm actually good. I'm friends with people who develop at Sucker Punch, but shit. Even I know that this is a mistake.
Yeah.
Like, this is not something that they should be investing in. Like, cool. If there's like one or two people who buy it, good on them. They're probably going to play it once and go like, what the fuck did I buy this for?
Yeah. If only there were a story to go along with this game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're going to invest in Ghost of Tsushima, buy the game.
Yeah.
And the multiplayer will be free. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't buy this. And if anything, buy the director's cut when it comes out on PS5. Because you get the DLC.
You could pick up a pre-owned copy of Ghost of Tsushima real cheap.
That's right. And and all you have to do is pay on top and you get the DLC and the upgrade.
Yeah.
It's like,
and the multiplayer.
That's right. For free. Shit, you can buy them. You probably could find it pre-owned for like $30, $40 these days.
Probably, yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
You know, even people who work at JB on stuff price $20. Anybody who's goes to JB, ask for a better deal. Cost price is quite cheap. But yeah, you get it, and it's $20 for content that's bleh. Like it's not something that I would advise. Like, I can't believe that I'm not advising it. We're a PlayStation show and we're telling you not to buy it. It's insane that they thought, oh, this will
sell. We're reputable.
Well, this would sell gangbusters. Come on.
Yeah.
It's a really confusing one. All right, Jez, time for the drop. What do we got this week?
We got a bunch of games here. A lot of these games I've never heard of before. Looking at the list today, so a lot of fresh faces. We have on August 12th. We have The Plane Effect. On August 12th, we also have Tetragon and Foreclosed. All of those coming to PS4 and PS5.
Yep.
Aside from Tetragon, sorry, only PS4. Hades is finally coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 on August 13. If you have not played Hades, you should definitely play Hades.
Amazing game.
You should buy Hades instead of buying Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer fucking standalone thing. Hades, so good.
Very good.
So everybody in that game is so hot. It's a bisexual's dream. It's just like, it is such a good fucking game.
Good game.
August 17th, we have Greek Memories of Azure. Greek spelt Greak.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. August 19th, we have Recompile and Rims Racing. Rims Racing, which is all capitals.
Damn it, I'm such a fucking child, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. Rims Racing being a PS4 game as well as PS5, while Recompile only on PS5.
Yeah.
TSUSHIMA Director's Cut, PS4, PS5, August 20th. The last game that Sony has ever made is coming out on August 20th. Something we forgot to mention. Maybe, I guess, Last of Us Part 2 PS5 would be the last big thing they might have for the end of this year, I guess. If that's even a thing, that hasn't been announced.
No,
so,
it hasn't, but...
Because they're working on that multiplayer, right?
Yeah, they are. But
where's that?
Again, it's like...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, Last of Us multiplayer was fine. A lot of people make it out to be the best thing in the world. It's subpar.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Wouldn't pay $20 for it, that's for sure.
Oh, hell,
Arietta of Spirits on August 20th. Not Kena Bridge of Spirits. I think... So this game is coming out on August 20th. Did Kena Bridge of Spirits originally have an August 20th release date?
August 24.
Okay, right.
But they're close together. I mean, that's...
Very, very close. Arietta breathed a sigh of relief when they found out that Kena was coming out in August.
Yeah.
On August 20th, we also have Madden NFL 2022 on PS4 and PS5. King's Bounty 2 on PS4, August 24th. I Expect You to Die 2, The Spy and the Liar on PSVR on August 24th.
Nice.
It is also coming to other VR platforms, so don't think that there is someone in 2021 releasing an only PlayStation VR game, especially when you have to get a dongle to get it working on the PS5. We have HOA, HOA on PS4, PS5, August 24th also, as well as Aliens Fireteam Elite, which is a worse name than Aliens Fireteam, which is what it originally was called. PS4, PS5, once again, August 24th.
That is your drop for the next 2 weeks. And I'll tell you what a list.
Stacked 2 weeks. Nothing but games. You like games? We got them.
Rims Racing.
Rims Racing.
I don't know. Out of that list, Hades pretty much is what I look at and go, yeah, that's awesome, but I've already played it.
yeah. Like honestly, same. Like I'll try Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. I didn't love it on the PS4, but maybe I'll like it a lot more on PS5 with all the new enhancements. That could be cool.
I think it's like,
but aside from that,
it's $20. It's $20 for the upgrade, actually. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
So we'll make sure to have some coverage on dashgamer.com. I'm sure you guys will talk about it over on Minimap as well.
Definitely will.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Guys, if you didn't know, this has been Operation PlayStation, dashgamer.com's dedicated PlayStation podcast, where we dive deep and dirty and discover the latest and greatest PlayStation have to offer in 2021. If you like what you heard, make sure you follow Mr. Jeremy Braditich over on Twitter at Obi1Jez. You can follow myself on Twitter at dashgamer. Yeah, good. Wrong way.
Fuck! Every time!
Don't forget to follow the show over on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Give us those cheeky 5-star ratings. That surely help us out. Also, catch the VOD over on dashgamer.com and on YouTube. Subscribe, hit that bell, give us a like, leave us a comment, make us your number one PlayStation destination in Australia. Oh, Jez, another awesome.
What a fun episode.
It was good. We had a lot of poking fun.
Yep.
It was a good episode this week because
each other and everybody else.
Big contrast from our last one. This one was good because we had some good news in this one, and yeah, I just had a lot of fun doing this one. So good episode. We'll be back in another 2 weeks to you guys. But until then, this operation is complete.
dashgamer.com